Sometimes you wake up anticipating an average day, then it turns into a free hat kind of day. Welcome to Thick and Rugged Outdoors. Boy, have I got a surprise for you. Have you ever bought something and immediately thought this is a one-way ticket to happiness or divorce? Here we are. I forget the year, but it's late 1990s. Grady White 20-foot center console with a 175 Ocean Runner Johnson on it. Very solid floor. This is one of those I gotta have it specials. So what we got here is a small project. Basically clean it up, service it, get it prepped for the water, and do a test run locally before we hit the big water down the ocean and the shore. This is what I've been looking for a while, and please follow along as we clean this boat, service this boat, get this boat ready for the water, and enjoy this boat, because those two boats back there are sold. Howdy everybody, Nick with Thick and Rugged Outdoors. This is the start of our old 20-foot Grady White restoration project. And by restoration I mean very minimal, because it has been well maintained its entire life. It's a quick overview of the boat. 20-foot center console with a 175 Johnson 2-stroke Ocean Runner on the back. It does not run right now, but it just needs de-winterized, gone over, serviced, new plugs, fresh gas, and will run just fine. I won't get too in detail on this inside just yet, but overall we have a very solid boat for a very affordable price. And I'm going to jump around here with the hot rod project and the boat project and the other project that we have that runs and drives. I've been driving for the last few weeks. But anyway, enough chitter chatter. What we're going to do today is a simple deep clean. What we have is a lightly outdoor aged boat. As you see, this dirt and debris comes off, which is rubbing on it. There is some spider web cracking, but that can be fixed in the gel coat with my new gel coat I'm going to put on here in a few weeks. But first things first, you need to get all the dirt, all the debris, all the junk off the side of the boat, off the inside of the boat, off everything. Start with a clean project. You'll thank me later. I've made the mistake numerous times, not tearing it apart, cleaning the project, and then getting aggravated because your items get dirty. I'll say it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Clean it first, see what you really have, then move on. So, with this project today, all you really need is 3 or 4 simple items. What I have here is 2 gallons of Purple Power, not sponsored, my personal favorite cleaning product for anything like this. When it comes to heavy duty degreasing, you can't beat this stuff in my opinion. We have a small container of bleach. It's just the cheapest one they had at Dollar General. A spray bottle. Doesn't have to be Purple Power, it can be any spray bottle as long as you put your contents into that spray bottle. And a mildly, not aggressive but not soft, bristle brush to really get in there and scrub it up. So we're going to start the cleaning process. I'm going to show you one side on time lapse, do the other side off camera, and then do a walk around. But real quick, let's do a walk around before. This deep, dark, brown, moldy blackness. We're going to change this different color too. I don't like that blue. I know it sounds silly. Some of this looks like soot splash or something on here. Not quite sure. We'll get rid of that too. Sad part is this thing actually still has some good shine to it. Oxidizing hasn't really set in a lot of places just yet. But for right now, we're going to the outside of the boat and get back with you here in a short bit. process of scrubbing and brushing. You can see there's some still pretty deep moldy blackness in there, and you can really see some of the spider cracking that's deep down inside. Nothing crazy, but look how good that cleans up. I stopped about 3/4 of the way back here. Big difference, big difference. Let me go ahead and finish the other side and get back with you guys. I purple powered and bleached this side. It took a little bit more brown hazing off of the white color, but I also think there's a lot of heavy oxidizing on there. You can see just from this, I didn't brush this side, but I brushed the edge here the whole way up through, and it looks wonderful. These marketplace deals you just can't beat. So we're going to start bleaching from here on around the front and see how this side turns out. Alright, now that we are up in the boat, you can really see some of the dirt and grime and age, and I don't know, the bad spots, because honestly I'm very impressed. Got a busted ass antenna right here. We'll get rid of that because I don't need that crap on my boat. But anyway, see some of the upholstery, not really torn up at all, just has some black mold or whatever you want to call it stuff, dirt, grime. The floor even is just dirty. I mean, I'm excited to get this thing cleaned up and get some gel coat on the floor, or that, what do they call that, kiwi or kiwi quick, whatever the hell it is, floor paint. That'd be a separate video. But just look at this view. They call me Captain. Steering column is actually quite functionable, which is impressive for an older boat. This thing has definitely been repowered. That's a much newer motor than the boat is. I do want to update the controls because they're a little questionable looking. I'm sure it's fine. Tilt trim supposedly works. Tilt trim gauge, RPMs, voltage, and the simplicity of these older boats is navigation lights, accessory, bilge pump, fuel gauge. It is just that simple. A little alarm for overheating or anything. Ignition power. Marine radio, little storage cubby hole, which we might just pull this console off when we go to paint the floor as well. Not sure yet, or may not. I don't know. I might just let it go. That's something I'm good for. But yeah, let's go ahead and wash her down on the inside here. World of difference right there. That's all it takes, folks. Just some purple powder and some bleach and a scrub brush. Unfortunately, this brand new handle I just bought decided it can't withstand some simple pressure, so we're gonna go ahead and finish the front of the boat up here, and then we're gonna move on to the center, sides, and then we're gonna go to the front section floor. So we're gonna top, bottom, front to back. So all the water kind of goes to the back of the boat. I think I forgot to vacuum out these lids. Yeah, I sure did. So we'll be chasing that dirt around for a while, I'm sure. Pin right there. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and finish scrubbing this up and see what she looks like. So what we've got going on here now is a clean, not perfectly clean, but a very clean inside of a boat that has been sitting in somebody's backyard for about a year or two. I gotta do some deep cleaning on the upholstery here, getting the nooks and crannies and stuff, and I'll do that when I pull that wood off to paint it and stain it or whatever. I think I'm gonna leave the console in place and just pull the wood off, paint it, recaulk everything around it. But anyway, as you can see, this turned out really freaking good. I got like 90% of the black gunk off. Well, I'm gonna say 84%. of the black gunk off the gridded edge, you know, the no slip edge. The lid box is back there, the seats back there, whatever you want to consider those things. They're pretty clean. So the battery access is under those boxes, which is kind of a pain. I wish it was more open back there for batteries, but we can work with it. I'm not gonna spray the console down with water, I don't think. I'm just gonna use a, you know, dash cleaner and spray it, wipe it down. I think I might just say hell with it and just, you know, super clean brush it, wash it off. But this turned out way better than I thought it would, and I'm not discovering anything more as far as, you know, sun cracking like up here. Yeah, this for the age of this boat, that is nothing to be concerned about. I've seen 10-year-old boats with that kind of stuff on it. We got some stuff up here kinda I can maintain and take care of now before it gets out of hand, but overall this thing is in phenomenal shape for its age. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but that is actually some pretty clean two-stroke. Doesn't smell too old. I just took the primer ball line right here and separated it and primed fuel out of the tank, and it's no debris in it. Now, it's not saying that there's no debris in the tank at all, but that's telling me that that's a good sign. There's no water or anything coming out, and usually when you have water in your fuel, you can usually prime that water out and you can tell pretty quickly, but there's no signs of water in there. And I'm just going to run it for a little bit like this to get it started, make sure it's going to fire up just fine, do some compression testing and stuff like that, and get a battery popped in here. It has 2 spots for a battery, but it only seems to have one side with battery connections, so maybe they just went from a dual battery to a single battery setup for easier maintenance. I don't know. So what we got here, we got a fresh battery. By fresh I mean it was dead last night because the hot rod didn't charge while I was driving, so I charged it for a few hours. Got about 11 volts in it right now. Got the motor put down. Start pulling these plugs out and checking things. That looks very, very promising. What I'm going to do is take all these plugs out one by one and spray some fluid in there. And by fluid I mean multi-purpose lubricant from PB Blaster, or I'm sorry, just Blaster. Just get a little bit extra in there. I did turn the key on. It's like with a few spins by accident. No big deal. Ain't gonna hurt nothing that bad. Pull all these cylinders. Gonna get them all soaked down pretty good. Cycle the engine 3, 4, 5 different times. Put the plugs back in. Fire it up, hopefully. I pulled all the plugs out and they all are like absolutely perfectly matched. I wish I had a bore scope, but they all look very well new and perfect. And the best part is they were not cranked down and like overly tight. Let that sit in there for a second or two. Yeah. This is a 99 engine, I believe. I should have blew that crud out with the plugs in. Anyway, so these plugs look actually phenomenal. I'm gonna actually use these for a little bit. I'll get some new ones a while too, but plugs look good. This engine looks really clean. I see a typical solenoid primer up there under the airbox. B6 loop charged, whatever the fuck that means. You gotta be patient with me because a lot of these newer outboards I'm not familiar with. I'm used to all the like the late 80s, early 80s outboards. This does not seem to be any kind of EFI stuff, just, you know, 6 carburetors, which is great. So I might oh, what's this do? Just pull the airbox right off or what? It sure does. Look at that. No bolts or nothing. That's pretty cool. As you guys know, I had a problem before with my other outboard on my Champion, that the airbox screws fell out of and fell down into the carburetor, into the reed valve, causing it not to run properly. Didn't hurt nothing, but had a breakdown on the water that one time, so that sucked. This thing's clean as hell, man. Clean as hell. So, alright. Sit here and cycle this engine a few times. And fire it up. See if it'll do it again. Figure out this damn control here. Figure out which one's which here. Overall, great boat purchase. And that is my 20-foot Grady White center console boat, cleaned up. It's been left out in the weeds, per se, for the last year and a half. The guy that owned it owed the guy some money, gave the boat